guys, welcome back to Fawn Kettle Kitchen. So I am using my brandy new 8-quart crock pot express multi-cooker XL, and I am going to be making a cheesy chili mac. So let's get going. Okay, so we're going to start with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil on the bottom of the pan. I have 1 onion diced and 3 cloves of garlic minced. I personally don't mince mine, I just use a grater, cheese grater to be exact. So you're just going to let this saute down until they're translucent, and then we will add all the other ingredients in. Alright, so the onions are softened. I'm going to add in 2 cans of mild chopped green chilies. I'm going to give that a stir. You want to get most of the liquid out of this. So you're going to let this cook for about 2 to 5 minutes. Evaporating the juice from the green chilies will help to make sure that your pasta is not super watery and overcooked. So this just has another couple minutes to go. Alright, so there appears to be not very much liquid left, which is okay. So I have 2 pounds of hamburger, but I only am going to need to use 1.5 pounds. So I'm just gonna break it up as I drop it in. And you just want to break it down. So you want to make sure that this is nice and browned. So this is going to take about 7 minutes. You want to make sure that you don't see any more pink. Alright, so I'm just going to let that sit and brown on that side. Alright, so now that the beef has lost its pink and raw color, I'm going to add in some spices. So I have a 1/2 teaspoon of table salt, but I'm using Himalayan sea salt. That is my table salt. 2 teaspoons of cumin. It doesn't hold much heat, but it gives a great smoky flavor. And a 1/4 cup of chili powder. We're going to mix that in. Let those spices bloom since they've been sitting dormant for a while since they're powder. And if you have any big chunks of beef still in there, just make sure you break it down. This is broken down very nicely. I'm using 80/20 ground beef, so it is a little fattier. If you want to go on the leaner side, you can definitely use the 93% lean. And this steam is just liquid that is cooking off. Alright. I'm going to put in 2 cups of stock. I'm going to use beef stock. And if you have a stainless steel pan, you want to make sure that you scrape the bottom to make sure that if anything got stuck during the brown and searing stage, it's not on there, so you don't get a burn notice or anything like that, or an error. Make sure you get the sides as well. All right, so here comes the fun part. So this is going to quickly come up to a boil because it is on the brown and sear section. So after you scrape all of this off, we're going to turn off the actual brown and sear function. We're going to add in 3.5 cups of crushed tomatoes. These are just tomatoes that I have myself from canning. I just crushed them with my hand just so I can have them whenever. If you don't have your own, get a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. But to put a can of beans in, your preference. I'm just using small white beans. And 8 ounces of pasta. I'm using rigatoni, or you can use ziti. I'm going to give this a nice stir. Make sure all the pasta's in there. So now we're gonna lid it up. Make sure that this is in the make sure it's just in the sealed position. So with the 8-quart, it is much more sleek for this. So let me bring you up front to show you what's next. Beans and chili, and it is on high pressure. We just want 7 minutes. Oops, and start. All right, so the timer went off. I'm going to shut it off, and I'm going to complete a quick pressure release. This is going to take a few minutes, and then we'll add the cheese. So we're going to take the lid off. As I always tell people, make sure you open away from you. I'm going to add in the 4 ounces of triple cheddar. Just going to stir this in. All right, so I'm gonna let this sit for just a few minutes. I put the arrow over on the lock side so it still lifts a little bit. I just want the cheese to melt, and then we'll serve it up. All right, so it's been 5 minutes. The flavors have melded together. Cheese is nice and melted. Time to serve up your chili cheese mac. Hope you guys enjoy.